Alright, fellow YouTubers and family out there, it's me again, and wow, either my camera's a little dirty there. Oh yeah, it was a little dirty. Alright. Anything in Alright. What we're going to do today is we're going to cook up some hamburgers. And have them good and tasty. Now there's a lot of speculations on how to make the perfect burger.
Oh, yeah, I did call her earlier. I said if he was home.
But I want to position y'all a little bit better right there. There we go. I'm trying to get that glare gone.
That's all I was doing, was seeing if he was going to get enough to come home.
There we go. Alright. Now.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
It's been one of them days. I'm sorry. Well, this will definitely be uploaded via Wi-Fi because I can't do this live due to the fact that it interrupts me a lot and it glitches. But there's a lot of speculations on how to do a good burger. And a lot of people turn around and they get the patty together and they just make a patty, flatten it, and they put dimples into the middle of it to get from flooping up. I don't do that. Now I do add seasoning, and I turn around and I roll it up, and I literally get all the designs of it being ran through a grinder. So if it looks wormy like that, that's where it's been ran through a meat grinder. Those characteristics will be gone. And the fire is the key part. You want to try and get your stove hot enough. If you got a gas stove, which I prefer, put it on a very, very low flame to where if you blow on it, it'll go out like a candle. That's perfect temperature. Alright? Well, I'm going to show you the ingredients I'm going to use. But before I touch this meat, my hands are ucky, so I'm going to go wash my hands. Hot water. Yeah, I need some hot water. Yeah. There it goes. Starting to get warm now. Now I wash my hands before I touch the meat and after I touch the meat. So I don't contaminate nothing else that I'm touching.
Abby! Abby, what are you doing? Abby!
Alright.
What are you doing? You told me to do it. I'm trying to do it like an archaeologist. I'm very careful notes of where everything came from, and I'm trying to put it back together again later. You're using a chainsaw. There's always a zipper of the meat. I mean, I was hoping for a zipper or some sort of system of dowels with slot.
Hands are good and washed. I ain't worried about drying them because I'm going to be touching the meat. So, clear my tools out of the way. Get my cutting board all nice and cleared out for use.
I think it's two slugs smashed together like boom boom.
One bullet hit another bullet?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's an impossible shot.
Yeah. If they were both in the air at the same time.
Move stuff up out of my way.
It's a bullet and a bullet? Abby's analyzing it now, but if it is a piece of 22 and a 45, then...
You broke up there. What are you saying? Can't hear you, Miggy.
Alright.
Why?
I don't want to talk about the case in front of Layla and the kid.
Listen, Tony, this is really important. I need you to check the seams of the walls.
The walls.
Well, do they appear to be removable?
Huh.
Or tunnel maybe. There could be hidden underneath something on the floor. Something that looks like
Now I'm just going to cut this straight through the packaging because I only need a little bit of it. I don't need the whole thing.
Tunnel might have been filled in.
I saw a video on the internet once of this guy who built a Lamborghini in his basement. They had to pull up at the house to get it out.
Alright.
I think we've got another shooter.
You have very peaceful eyes, Amira. You know that. Yes, she does. I left Iraq because I didn't want to experience the violence I saw as a child. I wanted the peace to last in my life forever. You made difficult choices.
Alright now.
Both of you. Sometimes the most significant things happen in your life without
Now, like I said, we're going to do this differently. I use Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning. And what I do is I take this and I put this on my cutting board first. Make a good little pad for it, like you would dough. You know how you put your flour down for your dough when you go to make bread or biscuits.
He was trying to pick up and start over again.
I do the same thing. But that's not all I'm using. I mean, that's the basis. Now,
What's your place like in Mexico?
I go to this a lot because it's my favorite stuff. It's healthy for it's heart healthy. I use
Were you in a
pre-mixed, well, I say pre-mixed, personally mixed garlic and herb seasoning. And I go over that lightly, over what I just did.
I did what any mother would do. I ran to my daughter.
And that's done.
Where was she?
I'll be right back. I gotta get the other ingredients.
Layla. Where was Amira? Shada Shakirchi has become one of the most outspoken voices of the Iraqi tribes during the past few years, and she's suffered for it lots of enemies among the old guard.
I can tell you all this, you right?
Bombing last year killed 40, including her oldest son, believed to be the target. Increased security considerably since then.
That's where she came in contact with First Defense PMC.
And Colonel Bell,
Gift it. Ducky feet. Yeah,
Alright, I'm back. Now, so far, I'm going to show you this. I got my Cavender's in there, and that golden dust is my garlic and herb. And that's what it looks like. Alright, now I'm going to put on there some
Very, very much.
onion powder. Don't need a lot because this stuff goes a long way.
Your own history with Mike Franks is having a blind
They made this where it won't open.
skill as an investigator.
It's too much for any man to take. I mean, he busted the gut. The guy
Just slowly dust it.
He's like a 6-foot hero.
Don't need a lot.
Like the sandwich. Not. He's
It
not
should look
just
like this.
He's lying.
Right there.
Salty enough. I do.
Lightly dusted.
Don't try this stuff.
With a colleague, I mean, a supposed friend.
And we got some Italiano seasoning.
45 slug. 45 slug.
This gives it that better
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
The pathways
exotic meatball flavor
all of them
from the juices.
downwards.
This stuff's potent as well, so you just lightly dust it like you did the onion powder.
Partial 22 slug. And there's more.
We believe that what happened
There's that.
somebody else shot him.
Now, as you can see, that's what it looks like there. Sorry about the lighting. That's what that looks like. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my meat, what you saw to the side. I'm going to set it on there. I'm going to do the exact same amount on the top of it. So we get the bottom coated, we get the top coated. And it's even. When it's all said and done and mixed up good, it should look like a marble of flavors all mixed in. Alright, I got the meat moved. We're going to start with the Cavender's. Do the same thing. Just enough to cover the top all the way across. They don't have to be drowned in it. Just lightly across to where it covers, which I'll show you. See, it's not heavy. It's just barely there. And you do the same with the rest. Because a lot of this goes a long way. You got to think that hamburger is really juicy and greasy. So it will actually marinate within the juices and the flavors of all this. So you don't have to do a great abundance.
Sergeant, standing over the body of his best friend. His 10-year-old son just killed him. He's feeling
Of course, the garlic.
like he feels.
Now we need the onion.
Only one thing left for him to do, and that's to protect his son from what's coming. Put his shotgun into
Now the basil.
the fires. He's thinking he'll take the bullet himself.
Now it's time to mix this all up, round it all up, you know, get it all good and going. Alright, so I'm going to pat the seasonings down into it. Now I'm going to mash it up, bring it up into a sphere, like a mountain. So it's rolling and pushing the bottom all into the seasoning there at the bottom. You're going to have seasoning falling off, going around the edges, but that's alright. Pick it up, set down on the side, and do the same thing. Just mess with it, get it going. It should not look like ground beef when you're done. It should look like just raw meat all bound up together. It shouldn't have that ground beef look. It's hard to describe, but when I'm done, I'll show you.
It's a load of crap. Probably called me. You lied to us? I'm sure you're shocking a Paul character.
I'm relieved. Of all your unsavory character traits, I find that one the most palatable. At least there aren't any more bodies.
There might be, if you turn her loose.
What are we gonna hold her on, Mike? She hasn't committed a crime.
Couldn't
All right.
seriously be a bitch.
It's the one thing he told the truth about. He is protecting his family.
Well, I guess that's what this is. It's a family thing.
This takes a little bit,
See if you can work it
but
out.
once I get it going, I didn't plan on the center being still a little bit frozen, but it's breaking up now, so. Nice to be hot-blooded. Now I'm showing you all this because, you know, I'd say it's a perfect burger. Alright? But I want y'all to try this. The ingredients I showed you, the preparations, and, you know, if you ever seen Lethal Weapon, I want to say it might be 3 or 2 where
And you're all smiles.
Danny Glover goes up and he's sitting there in the roach coach, alright? He's talking about you gotta massage the meat. Well, he's right. You gotta work that meat. You gotta work that flavor. You can't just throw the seasoning on there and then form a patty and then throw it in the skillet. You only get that top layer of flavor. You don't get it all through. And if you cook it too fast on too high of a temp, it stays raw in the center. And it burns on the outside. Alright? Everybody rushes these a lot. And you ever wonder why in restaurants your burgers take so long to get out to you? Because they're actually taking their time to make the stuff. A lot of them are prepped and ready to go. So all they gotta do is throw it in the skillet and toss it off. I say skillet, some of them have a grill. Well, we're using the skillet. Well, this is perfectly marbled. It's done. There's no ground beef characteristics to it, like it's been through ground beef. Of course it's ground beef. It's going to have the look of ground beef. But it doesn't have that characteristic look of being through a meat grinder. Alright, let me wash my hands and I'll show you this. Had to go just a few moments ago. Come on. There we go. I know it's a tedious process having to do that, but
She wanted to paint her name on the side.
there's a lot of restaurants where
Guys,
they wash their hands one time and they do all their work. I wash them after I touch something. Because there's no point in doing this stuff after you touch meat to go on to the next portion and touch something else. And you get that raw meat, that blood, on something else and it contaminates it. I don't contaminate my food. Alright. Now here we go. The viewing. There you go. That's what it looks like. Nicely marbled. It don't look like it's been through a meat grinder. Now I'm going to take my knife right here, which if you notice I hold it right here. Every chef that's been in the kitchen holds their knives right here because it's a perfect angle, and you don't saw with it. You could dice with it, but you don't. No. What we do is, you notice, take a look. There's a curve in that. You set the tip down, and you roll off the tip. And it just rolls with the flow. It's easier to cut that way. A lot easier. And never place your fingers down when you're cutting, because, yeah, bad deal. When you cut, use the back of your knuckles, because your fingers will actually curve away. And you cannot cut your finger anyhow. If you look at that, see? There's no cutting. Now if you come up, that's too high. You stay in the center of the blade, pop, 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 pop. Good to go. Alright, well, enough on that, but I'm going to cut this in half, and this is going to make 2 patties. Alright, we got 2 patties.
What are you doing here? Rescuing that little girl? Her mother?
I'm sorry to tell you, but
Alright.
you're actually abducting.
Hey, Worth.
Now, once you've already got this mixed up like it is, it's easier to make patties out of it. It just takes a couple of seconds. It's already done for you. There might be a couple of pieces of meat that fell off when you cut it. But it's easier to cut it because it makes it easier just to get to it, rather than have to pull it apart and try to get it completely even. I like to ball it up, and I'll try to get, I get the sun out of that. See that break? I'll try to get those out of there. Work it together to where it stays together. Because those breaks make a mess when you try to flatten the patty while it's cooking. And it causes the meat want to break in half, and nobody likes to tear up their patties when they get them going.
Personally, however, I have not broken any laws. U.S. laws. The federally marked target. Yeah, it turns out bounty hunting is illegal south of the border.
God bless Mexico.
And there's 1 patty. Done. Do the same thing on the second one. And I've already told you about the flame. Kick it on if you got a stove, a gas stove. If you get it all the way down to where you just blow it out, I don't mean like ridiculously low to where it's like barely even puffing on, but enough to where it's like a candle. It's got a good flame to it. Where you blow hard enough, you blow it out. I almost got this one done with 1 hand.
30 years after the Civil War. My great-great-grandmother and grandfather had fathers fought on either side. These 2 old warriors, they probably shot at each other on the battlefield. They couldn't even look at each other at their own kids' wedding. But they did come to live with each other in the same house. And they spent every day for the rest of their lives.
This one's got some good voids in it.
A couple of wicker rocking chairs rocking back. Will you sit with me?
Second patty. Done. Now I'm going to wash my hands. I want to get the skillet going. Ooh, my allergies are kicking up. Now, we're going to get our fire going. We got a good clean skillet. I prefer cast iron because cast iron burns evenly. It doesn't have to have a big flame. It's not aluminum. It's not metal like steel and all that most of your skillets are made of. So it's not going to burn the meat. It's not going to stick as well either. So we're going to get the fire going.
What's this doing here? I don't know.
I'm going to show you the fire. Excuse the look of the burner. It's been used a lot, but it's a used stove. It's my grandma's stove. She's had it for years. So, you know, I know nobody's out there perfect with their stoves. Maybe at a restaurant, but it's not the part that's going to touch the meat, so it don't matter. So, you see there? See that? I just blew that out. Turn it back on. See, it's not ridiculously high, but it's low to where I can blow it out. That's what you need. Just enough that's on. And if you can blow it out, it's perfect. Take your cast iron skillet, sit on there. You can put your meat in there right away. It ain't gonna hurt. Slap it in there. I like to offset it instead of put it directly in the center.
What are you doing? Nothing. Those are none of your business.
I'm going to cook a burger.
They're private. They're so
A burger at a time. Excuse the booger part.
Download your destiny. 3 easy payments of $19.95 each.
But when this is done,
maybe McGee's already satisfied.
you don't flip it until it's halfway cooked. And you'll know when it is because the bottom layer, like this is the patty right here, alright, was cooking slow, the bottom layer is going to cook. And you see the outside layer. It'll go halfway up. Then you flip it. When you flip it, the opposite side will cook halfway up and meat in the middle. It cooks all the way through the whole thing. The center will not be raw. I promise. Alright, if your center is raw, your either fire is too high, or you're doing something wrong. Like the center is frozen. Well, if you do this, like I'm telling you, like I'm showing you, your burger will be cooked all the way through and be good and juicy, not burnt. It'll have a little bit of charring on the top, but that's that flavor. Alright? But, yeah, it'll be good and juicy. It will be fully cooked like you want it. It's a perfect burger. Alright, so I ain't going nowhere. I want to sit here. We're going to cook this burger. And, you know, I think y'all would enjoy it. So those of you that actually try this at home, I'm begging you, use my ingredients I showed you. Alright? Try it out. Do everything I did step by step. That's why I'm doing this. If you do it, leave me a comment. Tell me you tried it. Let me know how it tastes. Tell me what you think. And tell me if it's better than any burger in a restaurant you ever got. This will make Mickey D's look like an overpriced burger for a piece of crap burger. I mean, come on, you get meat that thick from Mickey D's. These will stay flat. It'll be that thick and packed full of juice, and it's not pre-made you just seen this. I made this all right here. So please, y'all give me a like. Share this video. Try out my recipe. And try out how I'm doing this. And tell me, ooh, it's already starting to get good. See? It's not crackling hardcore. It's not spitting grease. It's just barely simmering. That's because it's cooking that bottom layer now. It's releasing that grease and that flavor. And it's slowly going to work its way up from the bottom up. But, you know, please, give this a try. Leave me a comment. Tell me, hey, you know, it sucked. Hey, I liked it. Tell me something. But at least let me know you tried it. Alright? Like I said, I ain't going nowhere yet. We're going to finish this burger. We're going to finish both of these. So you can see what they look like when they're done. Now, my grandma's burger, I'm going to leave it alone. Mine, I'm going to cut it open for y'all. So you can see that it is fully cooked all the way through. And I didn't adjust the flame at all. The flame is the same. You would know the difference if I turned it up or not, because you'd hear the sizzle going hardcore. Doing this right here, you'd make a lot of your wives and girlfriends happy, because a lot of them don't like grease on their stove from a man cooking and splattering grease everywhere. This here, you're not spitting grease everywhere. It's staying contained underneath the burger. And that's a plus. It's not spitting all over the stove. My grandma loves these burgers. Alright? Well, like I said, I don't flip it till it's halfway cooked. Now after you flip it, you can press it, which will flatten it out a little bit more and make it more of a juicier, thick burger, more pronounced. And it doesn't swell up, it doesn't break, it stays contained, it stays impacted, and it's got all that flavor just embedded. I wished I had Wi-Fi. I really do, because I'd be doing this stuff live for y'all. Y'all can see me doing this, and I can actually see y'all's comments. You know, if I had the means to open up my own restaurant, I would do it. I really would, because I know the stuff I could cook. Ooh, a lot of people would get fat on me quick. Well, what's bad is some of the stuff I eat, you know, it's healthy. This is very, very lean meat. It's not packed in grease and fat. It's lean. And the way I cook it, most of the grease comes out. So I end up using the grease somewhere else. You know, I use it, you know, for greasing the skillet later. You know, whatever. You know, and speaking of which, I need to get ready for some French fries. I'm sitting here talking about this mess. I need to get French fries going, and I got another skillet over here set for deep frying.
You think finding this body in my jurisdiction is coincidence?
Now, in all honesty, I should have done this first, but I forgot about it. But before I get into this, I'd have to wait on the fries. I'll cook the fries after I'm already starting the second burger. Checking the edges of the burger, seeing if it's halfway cooked or not. Get a flashlight so I can see. Get a good flashlight. Well, I'm slowly getting there. Actually, it's cooked halfway up.